everybody, this is Andrew Hicks, the Technology Coordinator for the Ubaldini Group. Now, as you can see from the last video, we're going to pick up right where we left off. We just entered those details for the DocuSign room. That way they automatically populate into our forms once we add those in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and click back over to Documents here. And you can see we can add documents to that room. We can click right here, we can upload documents directly from our computer. We can also click on Add up here in the upper right hand corner. And you can see we get the option to add from our computer, add from our DocuSign forms, which we will do in just a couple of moments. So let's go ahead and add one from our computer. If you click right on here, it's going to bring up your file browser. I'm not entirely for sure if you can see this, but once you click on there, it'll bring up your file browser where you can choose the files from your computer. I'll go ahead and choose one of the documents we have prepared for this. And once I add it in there, it should pop up here in just a couple of moments for us. There we go. So I've added that document on here. You can see if you click on it, you can view that document. So we'll go ahead and to close out of it, we will hit this close button here in the upper right hand corner. Now another way you can add documents to the room, which I'm sure you're familiar with if you used .loop in the past, is we can actually email a document directly into the room. So you can see up here towards the upper left we've got all of our details for the room. You can see we've got this ID number, and if you hover your mouse over it, it says copy and paste this room ID number into your email subject in order to send documents into this room. So what we want to do is we want to get the email address for DocuSign for our specific DocuSign. To find that, if you click on where it says Inbox here, up towards the top, you can see that shows our email address right here in the upper left-hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and I am going to email that document into our room. So I will start my email here. Now, this is where we're going to be sending it to. Now, we need to add the subject for it, which is going to be our room ID number. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit that back button here. Now we're back inside of our documents here, and you can see we've got that ID number. So we want to copy that along with that little hash mark here. So if we hit copy, and I'm going to put that into my subject line. And from there, I will attach a document directly onto it. It's going to be a tax document. So I've gone ahead and emailed that directly into the room. Now, it may take a little bit of time for that to refresh. That way it has the documents in there. It may take a couple of minutes since we submitted it via email. We'll go ahead and hit refresh again and see if it shows up. And not quite yet. So we'll go ahead and continue, and we'll see that document here in just a couple of moments. It was the same thing as this, it just said tax on it. So to add documents from DocuSign using those forms where they'll be automatically populated, we'll want to click on Add up here towards the upper right. And then from there we're going to choose DocuSign Forms. So this is kind of the same thing as .loop where you could pull in different forms that were in separate groups. So what we'll do, the best thing to do is once you get here, if we click on where it says DocuSign Forms Library, we can change that to DocuSign Forms Group. And once we choose that, we can select the group from right here. Now you can see we've got different types of transactions here. You can see I have 3 of them for each one. The reason being is that this is Krista's account and she has access to all of the Market Center documents. So that's why we have 3. On yours, you should only have 1 unless you work at multiple market centers. Then you may have multiple. So we are going to do our checklist for listings. So we'll go ahead and choose that one here. And you can see we've got the documents inside of this checklist for listings here. Now we can choose which ones we want to add in by clicking the little circles next to them. Or if we want to select all of them, go ahead and uncheck those. We can choose the Select All button here at the very top, and that's going to select all those documents in there. Now, we're only going to pull in a couple of documents since we don't want to go through and fill everything out. I'm sure you all don't want to watch me fill out 25 documents. So we're going to do the checklist for listings and also the listing agreement. So once we have those selected, We will go ahead and hit add right here. And that's going to add those documents into our room. And you can see that tax document I emailed showed up now, so that's where that document is. Now you'll notice there's a little bit of a difference here. We've got these forms that we pulled from that DocuSign group, and then we have those PDFs that we uploaded directly into it. So with these forms, if you can see, we can click on our checklist for listings here, and that will load up that document here in just a moment. And once that's loaded up, you can see we can go through and we can manipulate this document since it's a form. So we can hit these little check marks as we need to here, depending on what stage we're at. Now we can scroll down a little bit on here and you can see we've got the information already populated inside of here. Aside from the agent name, we want to make sure that we double check this information to make sure it filled in properly. So for this, we'll go ahead and we'll just add Krista Jensen as the agent. So once we're happy with that, we can hit save and close, and that's going to save those changes that we made to the document. Now, if we look inside of the groups and we didn't find a form that we needed, which may happen currently, in the future we will have all of those documents in that group. That way you don't have to worry about it. But if there's a document that you need that isn't typically inside of those groups, if you click on Add right up here at the top, again like we just did, and we choose DocuSign Forms. This time we're going to keep it on DocuSign Forms Library, and we can select the library here, and you can see we've got the Florida Association of Realtors. So if we click right on here, you can see that that shows up with all of the Florida forms right here. They're not in any sort of special order, they're all just going to be on here, so you may have to do a little bit of searching. So if we needed to find something about a brokerage agreement, we can type in broker and it's going to pull up all the documents with broker inside of the title of the document. So if you do not see a form inside of that group, you'll want to check that Florida Association of Realtors and you'll be able to find it inside of this forms library here. Now if for some reason you do not have this FAR option, that means that the integration, that you have not integrated the NRDS number for DocuSign. And I'm going to go ahead and put a link on this video and also inside of the comments where you'll be able to click on it. That shows you a quick, about 1 minute video on how to add that in there. That way you can have that FAR option inside of the DocuSign Forms library. So you can see we've got our documents inside of our room. Now to do a quick recap, in this video we showed you how to add a document directly from your computer. We showed you how to email a document directly into this DocuSign room. And we also showed you how to use the DocuSign groups and the DocuSign libraries to pull those forms in there where they're automatically populated. So in the next video, we are going to show you how to get those documents sent out. That way you can get those signatures, and then we can submit them to compliance through command.